Hey there, Michael Griffiths here, founder of Referral Marketing Guru, and welcome to this week's Get More Referrals Today podcast. Today, I want to speak to you about content. Sure, on social media, on blogs, in publications, wherever you can put content, this has got to do with you. And it's the way to think about how you actually put up content, which will be paradigm shifting for the reader, but more importantly, skyrockets your credibility and skyrockets the value that you can add to the other person. I reckon right now, the way people do content is terrible at best. Right? It is just simply transactional focused, and it's just noise. So if you're putting out content right now, this is a must watch, because what I want to walk through is how to go from this transactional process thinking, content, ego-driven way of doing it to really being exponential, to really being in a way that makes whoever is watching, reading, seeing your content at least go, I actually didn't think about it like that. Or, wow, I could actually go and do something like that. To being inspired. And that's what content should be about. So let's get ourselves stuck into this. If you're listening to this on our podcast, your favorite podcast platform, then I'm going to get you to follow along, and I'm going to get you to put pause right now, go get a piece of paper, hit unpause, and I'm going to get you to draw a triangle. If you're watching this across any of our social platforms, our YouTube channel, then you can just follow along, draw it with me, because I'm going to actually draw it out for you at the same time. So maybe if you're listening to the podcast, jump over to our Referral Marketing Guru YouTube channel and watch it on there if you want to see it actually being drawn out, or you can just follow along, because I'm assuming that you're listening right now, and we're going to make sure that you can visualize exactly what we are saying. So what is today really all about? Let's level up your content. And as I said, whether that's content on your social platforms, on your blogs, in other people's publications, even when you go out and speak, content is content. And any chance that you have to share content, you need to be thinking about it like this. And trust me, you need to be sharing content. So don't go, oh, well, that's okay, I just don't need to share content. Wrong. People need to be able to resonate with you, to be able to respect you and be inspired by you. And they can't do that if you're sitting in the corner hiding. So you need to be producing content. You need to be sharing your wisdom. But there's the right way to go about it. And unfortunately, we've lost the art. There are too many people out there who are teaching transactional, process-driven ways of doing it, and everyone else is just following along. It doesn't work. Right? In the end, it's tough. It feels horrible. Let's get into it. I'm going to just share my screen, and away we go. So draw me a triangle. In the triangle, you've got 4 spaces. Right? Down the bottom is going to be colored in red. The second space above is going to be colored in yellow. The third space above the yellow is going to be colored in a green. And then the tip of the triangle is going to be colored in that dark super green that we talk about. Okay, there are scales. Red, horrible. Yellow, danger zone. Green, going well, but certainly could be better. Super green, where we want to take it. So the people who sit down in this red zone, the way that they're doing content is what I would call with a transactional focus. Buy this, sale. Come and get this, discount. It's all transactional. Now, I've got no problems with people putting up content that is, I've got a workshop coming up, or I've got a thin on, I've got a sale on, but if that's the only thing that you do, then you fit in this category here. It's very much like the accommodation sites, hotel sites, big retailers. And because they get hundreds of thousands of eyeballs, they don't care if they annoy a few thousand people by going, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this every second minute of the day. Because that's all it does. It simply turns people off. So if you're putting up, and I see this now more often than ever, where people put up a particular post on purpose to get engagement, to then go and message all of those people to try to sell their crap to them. It's transactional focused. There is no value in the content you are trying to deliver whatsoever. And therefore, eventually what takes place, people don't see you as high worth whatsoever. If all you are being is transactional, then all ever anyone is ever going to base your value on is just simply price. So if right now you're tired of people shopping around, you're tired of people trying to hustle you down, you're tired of trying to discount to be able to create a sale, it's because your mentality sits in this transactional way of thinking. And therefore, that's why you're producing that sort of content also. Why does this tend to happen? Well, simply, it's because we're sitting in fear. We're sitting in fear of, I need to grow my business. I need more clients. I need money coming in. It's desperation. And therefore, the way you come across is exactly that. Desperate. So if you need to change that, we need to go from that transactional at least up into the yellow stage, and the yellow area for people playing along, right in process. It is process driven. So if something is process driven, really what we are then focusing on is just exactly that, an outcome. And honestly, people who think that they're adding value generally are not. They're sitting in this process. So what's an example of just doing process driven? You've got a you've got a content matrix that says Monday you've got to do this, Tuesday you've got to do this, Wednesday you've got to do this, Thursday you've got to do this, Friday this, Saturday this, Sunday this. And you just go about simply ticking the box. You go about going, here's my latest blog. Come and watch it. Here's my latest podcast. Come and watch it. Here's my latest. Come and see it. But you're producing the content more as a machine to tick the process. And if that's the way of thinking, then your content generally comes out as dry, boring, uninspiring. And honestly, the people who sit in this yellow zone are generally what I would say are too logical. Their content just doesn't stir emotions. Sure, there might be some good stuff, but honestly, the logic tends to come because it is ego driven. And if you're producing content going, well, look at me, look how good I am, look how I do something, whatever it happens to be, if your content is about that, and it's ego driven, and really you're doing it to tick a box and to be able to fulfill a process. And that's it. So the problem with sitting in this yellow process driven zone with your content is people look at it and they'll go, oh yeah, that's nice. And then they'll just get on with the rest of their day and the rest of their life. It doesn't move anybody to do anything in particular. So we need to be able to go from that process where you're simply ticking a box up into what I would then call here as being more leader driven. And if you're focused on leader driven, then really you are focused on how do I create great value for the people who are reading things. How do I resonate with those particular people? How do I serve those particular people? So I know there'll be a lot of people watching this and go, oh, okay, that's me. That's where I sit. And if you're in that leader-driven way of I do content because I do want to add value and I do want to be able to resonate with the people who are watching, listening, reading, whatever it happens to be. I do want to be able to serve them. Great. And you tend to be going quite well. If I'm going to be brutally honest, it is hard to get above that yellow zone. So you think that red zone, the bottom of the triangle, was transactional thinking. The yellow zone just above it was process thinking with your content. And to me, both of those ways of thinking are in survival mode. And honestly, it's where most big people in business sit, survival mode. Because it's how we are hardwired. We're hardwired for survival. We're hardwired to go, how am I going to get food on the table, roof over my head, family looked after? It's one of our primal instincts. But we've got to be able to get out of that survival mode and up into thrive mode. And that's not always easy to do if you're wondering, how am I going to get more clients? Where is my next money coming into the bank going to come from? But if you stay in survival mode, then I can guarantee that the way you do content right now is probably pretty ordinary at best. So as we get up here into this thrive mode, it's about making sure that there's a whole nother level above leader driven. Right? And it's part of what we call simply being exponential. It's about being inspiring. It's about changing the person who's watching, listening, reading, their thinking, changing the paradigm. But it becomes even bigger than that. You produce content based on what is your mission. So we talk all the time around, we're really clear to inspire 1 million consultants, coaches, consultants, professional service business owners, to inspire 1 million every single year, not just once, not just in a decade, every year, to inspire 1 million consultants, professional service orientated businesses to play a bigger game in their business, to win every day, to grow bigger and be more profitable than ever before, so they can contribute and help change society, create this ripple effect throughout society. Every single day, I hear people who have these amazing talents and gifts and a really crappy business hiding over there in the corner. And if we can share something, whether it be on our YouTube channel, whether it be on our podcast platform, whether it be across any of our social, whether it be on our blog, whether it be in other people's publications, whether it be speaking on other people's podcasts, webinars, other people's conferences, if we can just continue to inspire somebody to go, you know what? I actually didn't think about it like that. Let me give that a go. Do you know what? I actually just need to give myself a bit of a slap around the face here and do better, so I can also go out and make the impact that I want. If we can do that with every little piece of content we put out, then we're living to the mission that we have. So understand that you might go, well, hold on. That's really great and really noble, but how does that get you clients? Don't I have to be down there in that sort of transactional process and then that'll help me get more clients? 100% no. Remember, we talk about for someone to be able to do anything with you, their limbic part of the brain, the feeling part of the brain, makes that decision. So if you want someone to be able to help you, promote you, ask you to be at their conference, their podcast, their webinar, to be able to work with you, to be a referral partner of yours, to do absolutely anything with you, then the limbic part of the brain has to go, do you know what? I don't know what it is, but I just really like this person. And if you're in that transactional, that process way of being, that survival mode, you're tapping into the wrong part of the brain. You're tapping into the cortex part of the brain, the logical part of the brain. And it's probably because you're also coming from that space. So therefore, it's really hard for someone to resonate with you. And if they don't resonate with you, then they can't respect you, and they definitely can't be inspired by you. So when we talk about this limbic advantage, this blueprint to activating extraordinary moments throughout your business, moments that create overwhelming trust, profound loyalty, emotional bonds, really what it does is it turns you into this superpower that getting clients is actually really easy. And if I was to go, look, do you want to get clients through referrals or through Facebook ads or through networking or through SEO or through Google or through just flicking a magic switch, or you don't really care, nor should you, as long as you can get more clients. Because getting more clients, therefore, helps you to achieve, whether it's financial, whether it's security, whether it's freedom, whether it's more meaning, whether it's more impact, contribution, whatever that is, that's actually what's really important to you. So I'm going to challenge you to just take a step back from the content you're producing right now and ask, are you really paradigm shifting in what you are putting out there? Or are you really just doing it because the process says, do this, tick a box, done? Now, we share a podcast every single Monday. And I don't share the podcast because it's part of the process and we've got to tick the box. I share the podcast because it gives me a chance to live our overall mission. It gives a podcast that someone today listens to this, changes the way they do content, starts getting clients so much easier, becomes more profitable, becomes more impactful, and now starts creating this ripple effect throughout society to people who I will never meet. But we got to play our small little piece in that. That's what lights me up. That's what excites me. So if you take anything from this here, what I want you to be able to just simply go and just take a moment and ask yourself, and right now in the content that I'm producing, and if you're not producing content, then you're even below red. You're in the gray, don't exist level. But are you at the bottom of the triangle, transactional, the red zone? Are you in the yellow zone, process driven? You're really just doing it to tick a box. It's too logical. It's ego driven. Or are you at least getting up into that light green zone where you're leader driven? You try to add value. You try to resonate. You try to serve. But again, probably a lot of the time, you're in more of the cortex brain than the limbic brain. So we really want to be able to get up to this super green zone, this exponential zone, this real thrive mode zone, where you're changing the paradigm thinking. You're inspiring. Your content fits into your overall mission of what you're doing and how you're doing it. That's when you make an impact, and that's when people will want to work with you. People will be inspired to be around you, to help you, to share you, to promote you. Now, I get that sometimes you've had a really crappy time, and therefore you instantly come back into survival mode and you produce stuff based in survival mode. And if that happens, that's fine, but recognize it and go, oh, you know what? I actually wasn't up in my thrive mode there. And get back up there and just do it better next time. So just quickly, the same thing occurs when you're engaging with content. Are you engaging with content in a transactional way? In a process, just tick the box because someone said I've got to engage with people on my out there in content land? Or again, are you doing it from this exponential way where you're making others feel heartfelt. You're using brain chemicals and you're deepening the connection and the bond like never before. And most people don't. Most people don't even think about that they've got the ability in the way that they engage with other people's content to skyrocket to the front of the pack in the level of connection and loyalty that they have with that person. You've got to get out of ego, because if you do any of this in ego, it can't work to the extent that we're talking about right now. Hey, hopefully it's been super helpful. If you'd like to go check out, there's some links below in terms of our next growth summit that comes up in February. Can do the quiz to see how great is your organization around getting referrals, growing their business through partnerships, their networks, keeping clients for longer with client loyalty and retention. And as always, come hang out with us in our Consultants Tribe, our free Facebook group, where we're educating and we're living our mission in there every single day. Till next time, take care. Look forward to speaking to you real soon. More importantly, look forward to seeing your content shift the paradigm, change the thinking, and become more inspiring. Till next time, take care, team. See you next week.